Peace, stars. It's your boy Evil, the Any Star host of the Dynex podcast. It's Halloween, man. Halloween just finished. I got my Naruto hat on. Excuse me, this is not Naruto. This is Dragon Ball Z. I'll edit that out when I post it to YouTube. But yeah, we got some Dragon Ball Z. Got the orange and blue thing going on, man. So Halloween theme, um, insomnia episode because it's like after 12 right now. So I just want to get some things off my chest. We're gonna be talking about the start of the NBA season and whether or not it should start now or later. So let's just get right into it, guys. And once again, it's late, man. So we're just gonna get right into it. Man. I just want to talk about the start of the NBA season. I didn't really touch on it too much on the podcast, in depth. But I mean, it needs to start expeditiously, man, because people need to remember that this is a business. You want to talk about New York City and Broadway. They're not working, man. There hasn't been any Broadway shows. Nobody's performing down there. So you talk about revenue for the city, tourist stuff or whatever. People come to New York City to see shows, man. People come to New York City to see the Knicks. They buy tickets for the Knicks game and they just go just to say they can go. And all the stuff revenue or whatever it helps to just build up the city, the mystique of it. Just the whole bright lights, glitz and glamour of New York City. It's all generated by revenue, tourists, like I said, tourist stuff or whatever. And the NBA is no different, man. So these players, they're very lax with their attitudes, whatever. They don't want to start right away. They want to have more of a break. It's not fair for them, to have to play so quickly. But we're talking about what the Lakers and who Miami. I don't think those Miami guys really care about having a break or whatever, but I think it's more for the older players like LeBron and stuff like that. They're gonna need like time to heal. But what about teams like the Knicks? And it's not just the Knicks. There's like 8 teams that didn't play in the bubble. So there's teams that haven't played. It's gonna be going on a year soon. So when do these teams get to play? We're anxious to see them playing, and there was talks about having like a mini tournament or something like that just to get these guys in the mix of playing basketball and stuff like that. I think that's absolutely the wrong thing to do. You got 30 teams in the NBA. You need all 30 teams to be out there playing. So me personally, man, I just want to take it on a human note. It's COVID, right? Worldwide pandemic. A lot of people has been working, man, essential workers and stuff like that. That goes to show you who's essential, who isn't. Like I mentioned before, there's glamour and glitz, associated with the Broadway scene. These NBA basketball players, sports people, they think that they're larger than life, and in a lot of ways that they are, but when it comes to a global pandemic, the people that are larger than life are the essential workers, quote unquote. You want to talk about police officers, sanitation, medical workers, transit workers. You could just go down the line for people that are really essential. Freaking grocery store workers. People that work in a grocery store. Those people need medals. Like everyone talks about giving like teachers a higher salary and stuff like that. And teachers also are kind of being a little bratty right now because they've been at home this whole time as well. I know it's hard for everybody. Everybody's role has changed. But these grocery store workers, man, the cashiers and people that do stock and the drivers, the delivery people, all these people are so important and whatever. And they've been working through this whole time, especially delivery guys. People are still ordering TVs and all kind of unnecessary stuff. And it's being delivered by guys that put masks on and walk into people's buildings, don't know what they're gonna come in contact with once they get in there. Ring doorbells, because they people don't want to go downstairs, so these workers have to go upstairs, carry things, and ring doorbells and hand deliver things to people. Don't know what they're gonna get from people being at home because a lot of people are quarantined. And if they're quarantined, they're gonna get stuff delivered to them. You know what I'm saying? They're sick. They can, this is a whole big mess. So I say all of this to say, let me shout out to food service workers too, delivering food and stuff like that. Delivery workers, all you guys, man. Shout out to you guys. You guys are the true essential workers. But anyway, get back to these sports guys. They're complaining about they need a break and they have enough time. Even people that are out there struggling don't have a dollar to their name now because of this COVID thing. They haven't been working. consistently, not getting enough revenue for their own selves to feed their own family. A lot of people have been furloughed. There's people that are in these situations that are siding with the players. Like, yeah, man, how they gonna play the season right away? They just ended the season. How they gonna start right again? Because they have to. The same way like any other person out in this world that works and needs to get money, that's how they're gonna survive, by getting out there and working. I mean, this is just the way it is, man. Like, if you don't go out into work, you're not gonna get paid. All these different organizations that I mentioned, like say police department, if they don't show up to work, they don't get paid. There's no such thing as, oh, yeah, we're gonna pay your salary, let you stay home or whatever. You don't worry about it. Firefighters and everything, anything that you could think of. Transit workers, the trains are running. People are still going back and forth. The transit system in New York City did not shut down. People are still out there working those trains, whatever, and moving people around. So I mean, if you don't show up, you're not gonna get paid. Like I said, furlough. If people don't know what furlough is not a vacation. Furlough is like, okay, hey, you're not fired, but you just can't work here now until there's a revenue. You know what I'm saying? So bring it back to the NBA, man. Like these contracts in the NBA are guaranteed. It's not like the NFL where these guys are the teams can just waive them and all this other stuff. And they could do that to NFL players. NBA players, once they sign a contract, they're guaranteed all that money, unless little stipulations like team options and shit like that. But usually the money is guaranteed. So these players don't care. They're gonna get a check regardless. They're gonna get a check regardless if the NBA is gonna get revenue or not. But it gets tricky there too, because if there's no revenue, then you can't pay the players. So what happens now? The owners could lock out the league. You definitely don't want that. So I'm just reading now, man, because I know it's late, but articles are still coming out. They were talking about that the NBA could lose up to $1 billion just by not playing the season as early as possible. So just a month between let's get into that. December 22nd was supposed to have been like the hot date for the NBA season to start, but most of the players. It's this big argument, I guess. It has to be, with their union and everything. It's a big issue. They really want to start on MLK Day, which is January 18th. Yeah, January 18th. So, it's just a month. It's not a big deal. But they want to start then. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, they're gonna lose. They could lose up to like $1 billion in just overall NBA revenue. That's not good. That could destroy the NBA. But like I said, it doesn't matter, because these NBA players are going to get paid regardless, and the money that the NBA is going to lose is the money basically that they have to pay the players, because they have to pay the players. Like I said, because their contracts are guaranteed. So in order for everyone to work this out, in order for everything to work out, period, this season needs to start as soon as possible. And December 22nd, in the beginning, I kind of was like, man, that's kind of messed up, or whatever. But I'm at work. my day job, I'm still working crazy hours, long hours and stuff like that. The demand for work is there. I see people out there, the highways are full. People are back to work. I see delivery trucks like crazy out there, oil trucks. I see the world is back. Pandemic or not, people are out there and they're working. They have to get it done, because you can't just not be like, okay, I'm just gonna stay home forever. Like I mentioned, teachers, like they got teachers teaching remotely, but who's working? Like the kids are home, so who's watching the kids? The parents, right? Somebody has to work. Who's working? If you get what I'm saying? It's such a weird thing, and like, to me, it just annoys me to hear the argument about the players that need a break or whatever. I mean, these guys, like they said, they're getting paid and whatever. So they need to go to work, fam. They need to go to work. That's how this works. You know what I'm saying? They have to get they have to start this season, get everything going, figure out a way to get the fans back into the arenas, man. The way that the restaurants have been working in the beginning was just outside seating. Then they break it down into like percentages now, where you can actually go in the restaurant, but it's at like 40% on capacity or whatever it is now. I believe it's like 40% capacity, something like that, in restaurants. So people are spread out 6 feet in restaurants. So they're gonna have to do the same thing, work out a way where fans could be 6 feet apart, and they could sell seats that way. You know what I'm saying? Get the fans in the arena, and let's just get it popping, man. Like the season needs to start ASAP. And it's not even about like, oh man, I can't wait to watch basketball. You know what I'm saying? Because it's really just bullshit. It's an art. It's an art. It's an entertainment, and it's not real. You know, what's real is what's happening with us on the in the world right now. What's fake is all this other stuff. Like I mentioned, Broadway and whatever the movie theaters have been out. They haven't been putting out movies only on Netflix and stuff like that. They haven't been able to film it because all this stuff is not important. It's just entertainment. But these are things that we put up on a pedestal or whatever. That's why people do podcasts. You know what I'm saying? To talk about a sports team that doesn't really make doesn't really make a difference between what's going to happen in the real world or whatever. This doesn't make a difference because I could read a book. You know what I'm saying? I could do anything else. I don't have to. We don't have to give so much emphasis to these players and stuff like that. And like I said, this thing doesn't work unless we all work. A lot of owners are still paying like concession stand people and just like random workers at the arenas. They're still paying them. How are they going to pay them if there's no money coming in? So this is just a snowball thing. That's all I'm trying to get at with this whole thing. And just the disconnect between what's really happening and what's not. It's not really about the social injustice and stuff like that. I also want to bring up that too. I was listening to well, now everybody calls their shows podcasts now. Even if they have a network show, even if they're on the radio, they cut their shows up and everybody's now has a podcast now. So this former Knicks beat writer, whatever, he was on the podcast, whatever. I don't want to blow up his name or whatever, and I don't want to blow up the other people who's on the show. But that certain reporter brought up the fact that these young players in their 20s and stuff, they're asked to be like Malcolm X. You know what I'm saying? They asked to be like leaders and speak up on Black Lives Matter, stuff like that. And then like you would think that when is it going to end? That's what he was saying. He was like, when is it going to end for them? I'm quite sure they're thinking about that because there's so much things going on, especially with COVID, and just a young person trying to make it and get their first contract and get drafted and work on their craft and keep getting better in this environment. When does it stop? When can they just play basketball? The thing is, right? It comes back to being human. Like I just said, none of this shit even fucking matters, Like all this basketball stuff, reporting and all this other stuff, none of this stuff really matters. Playing basketball, working out, to get to, to entertainment, and none of this stuff really matters. What really matters is the day-to-day stuff that we go through just to survive as human beings, All this other stuff is privileged stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, like when this reporter mentioned that, like, when do these players get to take a break or get to go back to the doing what they do? Unless everyone becomes colorblind and everyone just gets blinked away like the Men in Black, boop, and everyone forgets their memory. There's a lot of stuff that's fucked up about this world that we need to fix, and that has to do with racism, social injustice, systemic racism, poverty. You could just go down the line. There's so much issues going on in this world. So when can they go back to normal? Never. This is the human existence. So I just thought that was just kind of annoyed me, and I wanted to address it on this podcast. And then like some of the other guys too that were on there, they were like so adamant about whatever, just to give their opinion. You could hear that they're salivating, because the reporter's white and the two other guys are black or whatever. So they went on to talk about, oh yeah, we had our little charities and stuff like that, but it wasn't enough. That that's another thing too. I like everyone's getting woke now. They're realizing that the bullshit charities that they had before, the stupid autograph signings, or like, hey, I have a camp, whatever, they were all realizing that all that is BS because it doesn't really affect the community. It's not really giving back per se. Giving back is the actual feet on the ground, using the money that you have to give back to the community. Put your stamp on the community in a real way, not just making appearances for kids to be, oh hey, how you doing? Let me take a picture with you. Oh hey, I'm playing in your tournament or something like that, and then you never see them again until the following year. None of that was going to work anymore. But like I said, none of this even matters unless the players get back to work. Just got to get back to work, fam. You know what I'm saying? Like, do what you got to do. You guys are rich. You guys are not working paycheck to paycheck. What's the average salary in America? Like what, 30 something thousand? Like the medium salary, the 20 something thousand. There's people in this country that are making less than 20,000 a year. You know what I'm saying? So spare me the bullshit about all this other fringe stuff, man. There's people out there really struggling trying to make ends meet in this whole thing here, man. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, that's all I really wanted to talk about, really. Just the start of this NBA season. They really need to just expedite it, let's do a time frame here. So I mean, it's what is it, November 1st now? We just had Halloween. Like I said, I said Naruto at first. I'm kind of embarrassed, but it's Dragon Ball Z. Uh, you know, it's right now it's November 1st. So we're talking about the draft is already set for November 18th. So November 18th, then the start of the NBA season was supposed to be December 22nd, is what they're keying on. So you're talking about like a month worth of time to get everyone together. Right now, well, what is it, like little bit more than 2 weeks for this draft. So we'll get to talk about that, in nauseum. But I'm saying we have 2 weeks to get prepared for the draft. And when the draft comes, then we're gonna have what 4 weeks before the start of the season. This is gonna be hard on the GMs and stuff like that. But yo, you gotta get your tie up your shoes, bootstraps, whatever you want to say, and get to work. You just gotta get to work. A lot of here's another thing too. These NBA agents, right? They're a lot of these players coming into the NBA, they have agents. They hire the agents or whatever, and a lot of times the agents are spotting them. Unless their parents come from money and they don't have to worry about it, or they could just chill out with their parents that that they're already doing stuff with what they already do. But most of the time, the agents are giving them loans so they can live the NBA lifestyle before they get their check. So that usually only lasts maybe like a month, 2 months. You know what I'm saying? Because you want to talk about what March Madness, and then you saw March, April, May, June. So June is when the draft is, right? So you're talking about 3 months. They'll spot in 3 months, worth of revenue. After the season's over, 2 to 3 months, whatever. But now you're talking about from March or May or whenever you sign the agent to November. That's a long time to be having a loan, whatever. So I'm quite sure these college guys are anxious to get out there because they don't have the revenue yet. They didn't get the big money yet. They need to get out there and get drafted so they can get the money so they can pay these agents back. Because I'm quite sure these bills that they're pulling up, credit card bills and all this other stuff, because they're in COVID as well. So I'm quite sure they're wasting a lot of money. So they need this NBA contract. So like I said, this all these dates that I mentioned and everything needs to be expedited, man. So like I said, November 18th, the December 22nd. You want to talk about 4 weeks to get ready for the season. You got to start training camp soon. So I made a joke on Instagram, with like an old Sylvester the cat from Warner Brothers. He's like smoking and drinking coffee. That was a kid's cartoon. But he was like, that's the whole thing. That's what the NBA agents are gonna be, because in 2 weeks they have to make these moves, official in basically a 2 week period. And best believe there's gonna be a lot of players that are gonna sit out on their own and say, listen, I know I'm gonna be able to get a certain amount of money, so I could wait. I could wait. Let's say, like, I know the season they want to start at June 22nd, but I don't want to start till February, so they could just hold out. Say, listen, I don't want to sign it now, and then February, they might decide they okay, all right, sign me now. So that's another issue to worry about with this whole thing that's going on here. So anyway, I'm excited for it all, man. But like I said, I'm one of the guys that say that I explained it in a lot in this episode that this NBA season just needs to start as soon as possible. December 22nd, right before Christmas. Let's do it, man. Start the everything going. Get like the lineup for 3 games in the 3-4 games on Sunday. I mean, excuse me, on Christmas, and just let's get it popping, man. Everything let's just go for it. Because like I said, it's all about the money, man, and nothing works unless people are working, and we need to get out there. We need our NBA players to just get out there and do it, because the rest of us are. So anyway, man, this has been Ebru the Andy Star, host of the Diners podcast. I'm gonna shout out the guys on Sportscaster. You guys are crazy, man, for being up as late as I am. So we got what's this, Mamba number 24? That's a dope name. He gave me 50 tickets. God bless, man. We got Amos 22. He started following me. Thank you, Amos. Also gave me 20 tickets. We got Witches Warrior and Simma. Simma's watching. Simma is always lurking in these comments, man. So thanks for listening, man. So anyway, I'm gonna tune out, man. Once again, Halloween. This is not Naruto. This is Dragon Ball Z, orange and blue, kind of dope. You know what I'm saying? I had to get that hat, man, and hold it down for Halloween, man. So I hope you guys enjoyed your Halloween. You know, I hope everybody's safe. And thank you for tuning in, man. It's been Evil to Any Star as we doing the podcast. 4 fingers to the forehead, tucking your thumb. Salute. And I see you guys on the next one, man. So we're gonna get busy. Uh, like I said, draft is coming, NBA season is coming, man. We're gonna move expeditiously. All right, peace, y'all. Thanks for tuning in.